Hey guys, welcome to Fishing in the West. Spring is approaching, the ice is starting to melt, and anglers are starting to clear out their boats for the open water season. Today I want to take a moment to discuss a few bait choices for the new season and how to approach spring fishing, whether or not it be at your local lake or pond, south or north. Just a few tips and ways to approach the new season when these bass are spawning and starting to become a little bit more active as your lakes and ponds start to thaw out. Now before I begin, I want to discuss a little bit about what my favorite lure to use as soon as the ice starts to melt. You know, most of the time people will choose a slower technique because they think these fish are still in an inactive mode, very slow mode, but that's not always the case. You know, I found that this season, kind of up until December, they were hitting the reaction baits. And that just goes to show these fish will hit in low water temps and low air temps. They'll hit reaction baits like crankbaits, jerkbaits, spinner baits. I want to discuss a really cool lure that I received from Tackle Grab the other day. I received my Tackle Grab package just a couple days ago, and something that I find that's really unique and you guys are really going to love as far as fishing the spring season. Now, one thing I really have a problem with is getting hung up with lipless crankbaits, and one thing lipless crankbait has against it is the fact that it sinks. It's not your ordinary suspending hard bait. This bait is sinking, and as long as if you don't keep that bait above the water column, it's going to sink down, get hung up on weeds and rocks and like that. But what I received in my Tackle Grab package just a couple days ago is this Backstabber Lures lipless crankbait. And right off the bat you can see this very unique design. We've got a hook right in the back, a treble hook right in the back, and a smaller, probably a size 2 treble literally on top of the crankbait. And this may seem like a very weird design, very unorthodox, but if you think about it, during those beginning seasons you're going to want to fish a lot of riprap, because the weeds really aren't going to be too prominent because of the winter, all the weed kill. So you're going to want to fish a lot of riprap, a lot of rocks, and maybe some wood there, here and there too. So you want to really focus on structure that's never going to go away, that you know for sure is going to be there even after the thaw. This is really cool bait by Backstabber, and I wouldn't have even heard about it or tried it if it weren't for Tackle Grab. And I want to discuss the rod choice for a technique like this. Real quick, I want to talk about the rod that I usually for lipless crankbaits during the springtime. When I'm throwing this on riprap, throwing this you know, near some dead grass. What I like to throw is a 7-foot medium heavy action Powell diesel glass rod. This is a perfect rod for just about any type of hard bait, reaction bait application. I use it for my spinner baits, hard crankbaits, deep diving, even some jerk baits too, but it's really good for my lipless crankbaits. This rod is perfect for slinging my baits really far out there, getting out to some of those deep points, some of those deep drop-offs, and it's a really awesome little rod. And what we got to pair it up with here is a 6.4 to 1 left-handed gear ratio Tournament Pro Speed Spool made by Lose. And I like the 6.4 to 1 because sometimes I like to move my lipless pretty fast, and I'm not like most anglers where I got a 5.4 to 1 on a lipless crank rod, and I like to burn my crank sometimes, and I really can't get that much burn out of a 5.4 to 1. I like something that I can move very slowly and yet get a lot faster rate than a 5.4 to 1. So it's kind of a happy medium, not really exactly 7.0 to 1, but also not as slow as a 5.4 to 1. And it's a really awesome little setup. It's very light, very nice, and it's going to be absolutely killer on this little Backstabber lure right here. And it may seem like a very weird design, guys. It may seem really strange, but give it a try. You might like it. And even, you know, try signing up for Tackle Grab, and you may yourself get one of these in your package. I'll put the link in below as to where you guys can sign up for that. But it's an awesome little bait, and it's going to be killer for this spring season. It hasn't been out for too long. I don't even think it's been out for more than a year on the market so far. But it's going to be a really cool bait when you're fishing some cover that most anglers can't get to because they're too busy getting hung up and snagged. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned a few tips and tricks for spring fishing, just the basics as far as throwing one type of reaction bait.